Yo, what is up guys, it's Wodzu here and welcome to another episode of the Beat Grinding in Reaper series, a series of tutorial videos in which you'll learn not only how to make beats, but how to do it in Reaper. In this episode, we're gonna be talking about an external plugin, which is Xpand 2 by Air Music Technology. Here is how Xpand looks like. Lots of you probably already seen it, but for those of you who didn't, that's how it looks like. This is a fairly old plugin, probably from around 2008, so it's got over 10 years. But it doesn't mean it's any bad. Xpand is a rompler, which is a shortcut for ROM player. It contains a pre-made set of samples divided into different instruments, different sound banks. You can just use. You can't really edit these sounds though. You have some basic features like attack, decay, release, cutoff, envelope depth or fine tune, but that's all. You also have some basic effects on board, but I personally don't like using them. Some basic reverbs, choruses, lo-fi delays, flangers, pitch shifters, the usual stuff. You can load up to 4 sound banks, A, B, C and D, so you can just select some more layers already in the plugin itself and you can mix them and send different amounts of the signals to those effects which are built in. And why am I talking about that kind of a basic plugin? The true reason for this is because I've made a huge number of beats using only this plugin. It just has any kind of sound you would think of. At least I could think of. I totally understand that there are producers who don't like to tweak their own sounds and they just want some presets. That's what they are made for, just to get inspired, find a great sound and start creating right away. There is nothing bad in finding a preset and liking the already pre-made sound. So here is our melody we've made in the previous episode. I'm gonna solo this track, which already has a preset loaded in, which is FM Guitarish, and we're gonna browse through all these features right now. The first thing is the preset menu right here, which contains 29 banks, pretty huge as you can see. You've got lots of stuff. And this is not like most of these are unusable. Everything here has character, everything here is different. That's what I like. So let's start from soft pads. Oh, here is a mix with bell, some basic pads, some more, you know, spacious kind of things. You have bright pads, huge pads, action pads, which have their own character. Let's choose something from action pads, for example, Digiternal. It's pre-made out of 2 existing sounds, and that's what it's all about. Synth brass, good for some G-funk type of beats. I've been using those synth brasses in the Chillera Utopia Beat Pack, and those are just good sounds. Percussive, so plucky kind of stuff. Multi-track arpeggios, so there is an arpeggiator. Soft leads, guitars, and many more. I'm not gonna show you the whole library because that would be super boring. Now I'm gonna load a lead, for example, from hard leads like this one. Maybe not this one. Okay, can be this one. And here you can just change the attack, so the beginning of the sound, it's opening a little bit later, or it can be super hard, like... Sorry for my gesticulation, I just have to do those things. Decay. You can also change the release. Here is a very long release. Here is short release. Now it's like super hard. For example, you can just play with the ADSR. I have to do an episode about ADSR in general because that's the most misunderstood thing among the producer community, I think. Who knows what ADSR is? Not only what it means, but who knows all the sections and what they do and what they change in the sound of a sample. Just let me know in the comment section down below. Here is the general volume, fine tune. So if you are not creating in 440 Hz, you can just change it up to 100 cents. Here you can transpose it so it can be higher or lower. You can create harmonies inside of the plugin. You can change the range on your keyboard. So for example, you can have one instance of a plugin and play different sounds with a left hand and different sounds with a right hand, like with a split keyboard, but that's what we're doing right now. Usual things like mono and legato mode. Arpeggiator. Yes, it has an arpeggiator. For example, let's set it to the upper mode and let's turn it on. And some modulation, for example, volume modulation. We can just synchronize it with a parameter inside of Reaper, or just with any kind of a knob we have on our MIDI controller. Anything you like, really. And if you layer a few sounds of Xpand 2 into one sound, just take a listen what we've made with the simple loop in the previous episode, if you haven't watched it already. And thanks to those different layers, it has some interesting things in the higher end. It has some sizzle in the background. It has a lower part right here, which is an octave below those parts. And this is just a dulcimer. I don't know how do you pronounce this instrument. So, Xpand 2 is definitely a way to go for me, and I think for other producers too, in 2020. And I don't think that the age of the plugin should tell us if it's good or it's bad. If it sounds good, it's good.
Question time!
The question for today is, have you been using Xpand 2 or have you bought Xpand 2? Because it's not very expensive, so if you are cracking it, it doesn't make any sense because it's fairly cheap for the opportunities you get and the amount of sounds it has. As always, let me know in the comment section down below. In the next episode, we're gonna be talking about generating chords in Reaper. So stay tuned for that. My name is Dominik, you've been watching Wodzu Beats, and keep the good vibes alive.